lovely Tuesday evening and welcome to the Millennium TV main news, and happy Youth Day to you, our dear viewer. We take a look at stories making headlines. Early distribution of relief foods to Eastern Province, ELATES achieves. Prices of commodities to go high amidst load shedding, ZAM. Government must disclose the actual country's maize stock-FUBE. And 3 million metric tons of copper production unattainable amidst load shedding, mining expert. Coming up in international news, lightning kills 4 people in Mozambique. And still to come in sports, 52 footballers suspended for double identity in Cameroon. Details coming up after this.
It was all in my head. Fruticana zona.
Fruticana. Feel the rhythm, taste the fun.
With the news in detail, my name is Lovisa Chilufia. President Hakainde Hichilema has emphasized the need for people of Eastern Province to support government in achieving its aspirations for a better Zambia. Speaking when he paid a courtesy call to the chiefs at Luangwa House, President Hichilema says his government is alive to the drought challenge that has affected the farmers in the region, hence the need for government's resolution to promote irrigation. Mr. Hichilema says the chiefs need to ensure that they enhance food production as the nation invests in irrigation farming countrywide in order to secure national food security. Meanwhile, the chiefs in the region have commended government for the early distribution of relief food to the province following the drought that has been that the country has been experiencing. And President Hichilema has called on the youths to be committed in ensuring economic development to Zambia. He was speaking when he officiated this year's Youth Day commemoration in Eastern Province.
To resolve problems of that time is the way we would like and ask the youth of today to use your energy, your youthfulness. I tell my children that they are lucky to be young because you do a lot of things when you are young, not when you are tired. So the youth of Zambia, we are fortunate to have you. Utilize this asset of being young. Musebenzese asset yabu youth kugwira nchito mwabwino namanja yabiri to stay away from negativity such as drug abuse. You are the empanga, you are the yesterday, you are the today, you are the tomorrow, you are everything. That is what a country is. It's anchored on the youth. Kumenya nkondo kale, if you look at the military, look at these guys who are standing here. They are all younger people here because they have the energy. So you are yesterday, you are today, you are tomorrow. And I want to say to you, this government understands the challenges that you face.
Chiluvi Member of Parliament Mulinga Fube has called on government to provide accurate information regarding the maize situation in the country as the country continues to grapple with shortage of the commodity. Speaking in an interview with Millennium TV, Mr. Fube highlights that the markets have been flooded with fake meal causing a health hazard to the Zambian people. He adds that the importation of genetically modified organisms, GMO meal, is a sign that the country has insufficient maize. He has since advised government to desist from misinforming the public on such an important matter.
We do not have enough maize. If people can resort to Gaga, if we have enough maize, we can't be having people mixing honey with grass and then they eat. That's not enough maize. Let us be sober enough so that we work together, and this is a crisis that everybody has to handle. This is not a crisis that the UPND as a ruling party should want. No. We are all part of government. This is a crisis that all of us should come together. That's why they are even calling for realignment of the budget. It's because we will be also one of the players. But if a scenario was as flowery or was as beautiful as they portrayed, we can't be having, adjustment to the budget. We would have allowed the budget to land. Because actually the situation we are in is self-inflicted in some way, because the drought would have been talking about solving problems of energy. Would have been food secure, has it not been for them to sell the maize. It is as simple as that. Would have been dealing with electricity and water levels and other things and so forth, because water is used for different things.
The Zambia Association of Manufacturers ZAM President Ashu Saga says the 8 hours of load shedding will have a significant impact on output and profitability, which will ultimately be passed on to consumers. Mr. Saga says the load shedding is a major blow to the manufacturing sector, especially that most companies rely on constant electricity supply to maintain productivity. He further explains that this will have a ripple effect on the economy, as higher prices for manufactured goods will lead to reduction in demand and slowdown in economic activity. He adds that some manufacturers have been forced to invest in diesel generators and solars, which has not been a sustainable solution in the long term. Mr. Saga has further urged government to consider the needs of manufacturers and work to minimize the impact of load shedding on their operations.
A lot of factories do run 24 hours. And if you take out 8 hours, that's almost 30% of our production timing. So it is going to affect the manufacturing sector, no doubt. But we have seen load shedding before in the past, and some of our manufacturers have invested in diesel generators, some have invested in solar, and some are ready, but some of course are not. We just have to make sure that ZESCO sticks to its timings so we can plan our production schedules as well. We don't want to have a situation where people show up for work and there's no power. So most important thing here is I think ZESCO has to communicate its load shedding schedule, which they have done, but above that they have to make sure that they stick to the timings. It is going to affect us in terms of productivity. We are trying to see what best measures we can take in terms of rearranging our production cycles and also see if we can increase productivity in the remaining hours that we've been given. So there's a lot that we're going to...
And mining expert Edward Simkonda says Zambia will fail to achieve the 3 million metric tons of copper production by 2030 due to the electricity rationing being undertaken by the power utility company ZESCO. Mr. Simkonda says Zambia's economy is heavily dependent on copper. As such, lower than expected mining revenues could cause difficulties for Zambia to meet its financial obligations, coupled with the huge debt the country is facing. He explains that a power rationing will further make it harder to achieve global renewable energy targets in the absence of sufficient copper supplies to build renewable energy technologies. Mr. Simkonda is now calling on government and mining companies to collaborate on finding viable solutions to mitigate the crisis. He has further warned that a failure to address the challenges promptly could lead to a further deteriorating of Zambia's economy and hinder the progress towards national development objectivities.
Load shedding that has been introduced is seriously going to affect the mining industry, in the sense that, they'll be receiving less power than they normally should receive. So I expect, government to come up with a better plan this time around by probably introducing, the private power producers to the mines, so that, they can make up plans that can be supplying electricity to the mines so that they are not affected in this manner. That way we're also going to create employment, and at the same time we're bound to see a good yield that is going to be produced from these mines. So I hope this comes to fruition, that they come up with these power plants.
Moving on, a third-year student at Devlin Horn College, identified as Emmanuel Mvula, age 21, has taken his own life inside his mother's room in Lusaka's Mtendere compound. Deputy Police Public Relations Officer Danny Mwale has confirmed the incident, disclosing that the mother to the deceased discovered her son hanging from the roof pole on Monday, March 11, 2024, around 13 hours. Mr. Mwale says police immediately rushed to the scene, where investigations revealed that Emmanuel, around 12 hours, told his mother that he wanted to rest in his room and that she should wake him up around 13 hours as he had a class after 14 hours. He adds that police were informed that at 13 hours the mother went to wake him up, but she did not find him in his room. She then went to her room, but the door was locked from inside, which she was forced to open, only to find him hanging from one of the roof poles. Police officers found a scarf around his neck and tied to the pole. Mr. Mwale says no suicide note was found on the scene, and the body has been deposited at the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem.
A third-year student at Devlin Horn College, identified as Emmanuel Mvula, age 21, took his own life inside his mother's room in Lusaka's Mtendere compound. The mother discovered her son hanging from the roof pole on Monday, March 11, 2024, around 13 hours. Police were informed and immediately rushed to the scene, where investigations revealed that Emmanuel, around 12 hours, told his mother that he wanted to rest in his room and that she should wake him up around 13 hours, as he had class after 14 hours. Police heard that at around 13 hours, the mother went to wake him up, but she did not find him in his room. She then went to her room, but the door was locked from inside, which she forced to open, only to find him hanging from one of the roof poles. Police officers found a scarf around his neck and tied to the pole. No suicide note was found on the scene. The body is in the University Teaching Hospital mortuary, awaiting post-mortem and burial.
Chipata Mayor George Mwanza has urged youths to reflect on their roles as agents of change and transformation in the society. Mr. Mwanza emphasized the importance of harnessing the energy and idealism of youth to create a brighter future for all Zambians. He says that this day should serve as a moment of reflection and self-assessment for all young people by looking back on the country's history and considering how they can contribute to a better future. Mr. Mwanza says it is only by leading the way and taking action that can ensure a lasting change for the development of Zambia. He further challenged the youths to come together and channel their efforts into positive change regardless of their political affiliations.
This is a good day that should remind us as young people where we come from and how this day came about, but also give us a challenge to continue having the transformed mind and offering ourselves to lead the actual change. We have the biggest population in terms of segment as young people. I mean, we are actually over 40% of the population of the country. And this poses a great challenge that in line with the African Union Agenda 2063, that speaks to young people leading the way in digital transformation, in development, in inclusivity. We need to prepare ourselves, and this theme for the 2024 Youth Day speaks to the importance of us, the young people, irrespective of our color, heights, tribe, to unite and be the change that we've always aspired to see.
Ends our local stories. We take a break. We have more coming up in international and sports news. Still stay tuned.
All I need is green and I'm ready to go. Now tell me, do you feel the flow?
When you feeling low, you can use some yellow to brighten up the show.
Smoothie. When I wanna get fired up, all I do is get the red. Smoothie.
Orange makes me feel alright and happy all the way.
Everybody needs some color in their lives. Makes you happy, makes you feel alright.
Come on, everybody.
Frutica now, frutica now,
Everybody.
frutica now.
Introducing the new Fruticana smoothie in 4 exciting flavors. Fruticana smoothie, color your mood.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Moving on to international news, 4 individuals have lost their lives and 3 others sustained injuries from lightning strikes in the town of Moginco, Nampula province in Mozambique. Increased rainfall has already been recorded and there are fears of mudslides. Boats and vessels are being warned by Mozambique National Institute of Meteorology to take precautions. The nation has braced for Storm Filippo, with the southern and central provinces on alert for severe thunderstorms. Filippo has made landfall and may intensify into a severe tropical storm before dispatching at sea. Moving on to sports news, a member of Cameroon's Africa Cup of Nations squad is among 52 players who face being excluded from the playoffs for the country's Premier National Championship due to irregularities in their registration. Wilfred Nathan Douala and 51 other players considered by the Cameroonian Football Federation to have a double identity lied about their age and were suspended, French channel RMC. Only one club, Young Sports Academy, has had 13 players highlighted for suspension or dual identity. The Federation published on Sunday the list of the teams participating in the qualifiers, which are due to begin on Friday, which the names of 52 players highlighted in red for double identity. That ends our main news, but before we go, we take a look at stories making headlines once again. Early distribution of relief foods to Eastern Province, ELATES achieves. Prices of commodities to go high amidst load shedding, ZAM. Government must disclose the actual country's maize STOCK-FUBE. 3 million metric tons copper production unattainable amidst load shedding, mining expert. In international news, lightning kills 4 people in Mozambique. And in sports, 52 footballers are suspended for double identity in Cameroon. This has been the Millennium TV main news read by Lovisa Chilufia. Thank you so much for staying with us. On behalf of the entire news crew, it is a lovely evening. Do stay tuned to Millennium TV and good night.